what's fascinating, John? We spend roughly 27,000 days on this planet, if we're lucky, and each one follows a pattern, a routine. But here's the wild part. Most people can't describe their day in their native language, let alone in English.
That's deep, Maya, and you're absolutely right. I once asked my friend, "What did you do today?" And he just stared at me like I'd asked him to solve quantum physics. But seriously, your daily routine isn't just a list of boring tasks. It's actually the story of your life, told one day at a time.
Exactly. And today, we're not just going to teach you vocabulary. We're going to help you tell your story. Because when you can describe your day in English with confidence, you're not just speaking a language, you're claiming your space in the world.
Welcome to English-Speaking Nerds, where we don't just memorize words, we make them unforgettable. I'm John.
And I'm Maya. If you're watching this, you're already ahead of 80% of learners because you're choosing to improve. So let's make this count. By the end of this episode, you'll walk away with the exact phrases, the natural expressions, and the confidence to describe every moment of your day like a native speaker.
And here's our promise. We won't bore you with textbook English. We're going to make this real, raw, and relatable, because that's how language sticks.
Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button. Not for us, but for yourself. Every episode is designed to push you closer to fluency. Now, let's talk about the moment your day actually begins.
So, Maya, real talk. What's the absolute first thing that crosses your mind when your alarm goes off?
Honestly, 5 more minutes won't hurt. But we all know that's a lie. Those 5 minutes turn into 20, and suddenly you're racing against time.
That's the universal morning struggle. And here's where English gets interesting. Most learners say, "I wake up and get up at the same time." But that's not reality, is it?
Not at all. Let me break this down for everyone watching. Wake up is when your consciousness returns, when you first become aware that a new day exists. Get up is when you physically leave your bed and face that day. There's usually a gap between those two moments, and that gap, that's where life happens.
Perfect explanation. So you might say, "I wake up at 6:30, but I don't actually get up until 6:50. That 20-minute gap is you scrolling through your phone, staring at the ceiling, or negotiating with yourself about whether adulting is really necessary today.
Exactly. And here's a phrase that every single person needs. Hit the snooze button. It means you delay your alarm. "I hit the snooze button 3 times this morning" is probably the most honest sentence you'll ever say in English.
Now, let's talk about what happens next, because this is where routines get personal. Some people jump out of bed full of energy. Those are the people we're all secretly jealous of. Others, they drag themselves out of bed, which means they move slowly, reluctantly, like every step is painful.
I'm definitely in the second category, but here's something powerful for our viewers. The way you describe your morning reveals your personality. If you say, "I spring out of bed ready to conquer the day," that's confidence. If you say, "I stumble to the bathroom half blind," that's honesty. Both are perfect English, just different stories.
Love that perspective. Now, bathrooms. This is where we all become amateur performers, right? Looking in the mirror, practicing our speeches, singing in the shower.
You sing in the shower?
Guilty as charged. But let's give our audience the essential bathroom vocabulary. Brush your teeth, wash your face, take a shower, comb your hair, apply makeup, shave. These are non-negotiable phrases.
And here's a mistake I hear constantly. People say, "I make a shower." No, we take a shower. English is weird like that. You take a shower, take a bath, take a break. The verb take is your best friend in daily routines.
Speaking of showers, here's a question for everyone watching. Are you a morning shower person or a night shower person? Drop it in the comments, because this says so much about you. Morning shower people are usually rushing, waking up, getting energized. Night shower people are washing away the day, relaxing, preparing for rest.
I'm a night shower person, which means my mornings are slightly less chaotic. But here's where mornings really get interesting. Breakfast, or the lack of it.
Ah, the eternal breakfast debate. Maya, are you a breakfast person?
I try to be, but honestly, some mornings I just grab a coffee and run. That phrase right there, grab and run, perfectly captures the modern morning. You're not sitting down for a peaceful meal. You're literally grabbing something portable and racing out the door.
That's so real. And for our audience, notice the vocabulary. We don't say eat breakfast. We say have breakfast. I have breakfast at 7:30. Sounds natural. I eat breakfast at 7:30. Sounds like a robot programmed by someone who learned English from a 1950s textbook.
Exactly. Here are the breakfast essentials: cereal, toast, eggs, oatmeal, yogurt, fruit, coffee, tea, juice. And the verbs: make coffee, pour juice, cook eggs, spread butter, grab a bite.
Here's a phrase that changed my life: meal prep. It means preparing your meals in advance. I do meal prep on Sundays so my mornings are easier. If you're someone who's always rushing, this phrase and this habit might save your mornings.
Love that. Now, before we leave the house, there's one more crucial step: getting dressed. And this is where cultures differ dramatically. John, how long does it take you to get dressed?
If I'm being honest, 7 minutes on a good day. I'm a simple guy. Grab whatever's clean, throw it on, check the mirror once, and I'm out.
I can take anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes, depending on the day. And women watching this are nodding right now because they get it. Choosing an outfit is a whole decision-making process.
For everyone learning, here's the key phrase: get dressed. Not wear clothes, not put on clothes. Well, you can't say put on clothes, but get dressed is more natural. I get dressed in 10 minutes, or it takes me forever to get dressed.
And here's where personality shines through language. You can say, I throw on whatever's comfortable, or I carefully select my outfit. Same action, completely different vibe.
All right, so you've survived the morning chaos. You're dressed, you've had something that vaguely resembles breakfast, and now comes the next adventure: getting to work or getting to school.
This is where your routine becomes a window into your world, because how you get somewhere says so much about your life. John, what's your commute like?
I take the subway, about 35 minutes each way. And here's the thing people don't tell you about commuting. It's not dead time. It's thinking time, podcast time, people watching time. I've learned so much English just by listening to conversations around me.
That's brilliant. I drive to work, which means my commute is me, my car, and whatever playlist matches my mood. Some days it's pump-up music. Some days it's complete silence because I need to prepare mentally for the day.
For our audience, let's nail down the transportation phrases because these come up every single day. Take the bus, take the train, take the subway, drive, ride a bike, walk, catch a ride, carpool.
And here's the critical rule. We use by for most transportation. By bus, by car, by train, by bike. But when you walk, you say on foot. Not by foot. That's one of the most common mistakes. I go to work on foot, or simply, I walk to work.
Let's practice this together, everyone. Repeat after me. I take the bus to work. Good. I go to school by train. Excellent. I walk to the gym. Beautiful. I drive to the supermarket. Perfect.
Now, here's where commuting gets interesting. The unexpected moments. Traffic jams, delayed trains, rain when you forgot your umbrella, missing the bus by literally 5 seconds.
Man, missing the bus by seconds is a special kind of pain. You're running, waving your arms like you're trying to land a plane, and the driver just doesn't see you, or pretends not to.
That's when you use phrases like, I missed the bus, I got stuck in traffic, my train was delayed, I had to rush to make it on time.
And here's a beautiful phrase for those frustrating moments: running late. I'm running late for work means you're behind schedule and moving fast to catch up. It's different from I'm late, which just states a fact. Running late implies action, stress, that frantic energy.
So true. And during your commute, this is where small talk happens. You see the same people every day, and eventually you exchange a few words. Crazy traffic today, right? Or, did you see it's supposed to rain later? These tiny conversations are gold for English practice.
Absolutely. Small talk phrases you need. How's your morning going? Long day ahead? At least it's Friday, right? Is it always this crowded? These are low-pressure, high-value interactions.
And here's something powerful. Small talk isn't small at all. It's how you practice being human in English. You're not reciting grammar. You're connecting with another person, even if just for 30 seconds.
All right, you've made it to your destination. Whether it's an office, a classroom, a shop, or anywhere else, the next chunk of your day is about to unfold. Maya, walk us through what a typical workday looks like for you.
Okay, so I get to the office around 8:30. First thing I do, check my emails. I know, thrilling stuff. But this is real life, and real life isn't always exciting.
But that's exactly why we're teaching this, because you need to talk about the boring stuff just as much as the exciting stuff. After emails, what happens?
I usually have a morning meeting with my team. We go over the day's tasks, discuss projects, brainstorm solutions. Then I dive into actual work, writing reports, making calls, responding to messages.
Perfect vocabulary there. Everyone catch those phrases? Check emails, attend a meeting, go over tasks, discuss projects, write reports, make calls, respond to messages. These are the building blocks of professional English.
And if you're a student, your vocabulary shifts slightly. Attend classes, take notes, do assignments, work on projects, study for exams, participate in discussions, ask questions.
Let's practice some sentences. I attend 3 classes every Tuesday. I take detailed notes during lectures. I work on assignments in the library. Everyone, repeat these out loud. Your mouth needs to practice just as much as your brain. Now, here's where it gets real. How you feel during the day. Because your routine isn't just actions, it's emotions, energy levels, stress, excitement, exhaustion.
So true. Some days you feel energized and focused. Other days you feel drained and distracted. And that's okay. Describing these feelings makes your English authentic.
Here are essential feeling phrases. I feel productive this morning. I'm struggling to concentrate. I feel overwhelmed by deadlines. I'm excited about this new project. I feel burned out. That last one, burned out, is so important. It means you're emotionally and physically exhausted from working too hard for too long. I'm feeling burned out lately is a sentence that gives permission to be human.
And speaking of being human, let's talk about lunch breaks. John, what do you do during lunch?
Depends on the day. Sometimes I grab lunch with coworkers. Sometimes I eat at my desk while catching up on work. And sometimes, when I'm smart, I actually take a proper break and go for a walk.
That phrase, take a proper break, is so important. It means you're genuinely resting, not just eating while staring at your screen. You might step outside for fresh air, listen to music, call a friend, or just sit quietly.
Here's a phrase that'll make you sound natural. Grab lunch. It means getting food quickly, casually. Let's grab lunch tomorrow. Or, I grabbed a sandwich between meetings.
And then there's the afternoon slump. You know what I'm talking about. That period around 2 or 3 p.m. when your energy crashes and you need either coffee or a nap or both.
The afternoon slump is so real. That's when you might say, I need a coffee break, or I'm hitting a wall, which means you've reached your limit of energy or focus. For students, afternoons might mean group study sessions, library time, meeting with professors, working on assignments. The routine shifts, but the structure remains. Here's something important. Routines aren't rigid. Some days you work overtime, some days you leave early. Some days everything goes according to plan. Other days are complete chaos. And all of that, that's describable in English.
So, the work or school day finally ends. That moment when you clock out, pack up your stuff, shut down your computer, say goodbye to colleagues, there's this shift in energy. Can you feel it?
Absolutely. It's like your shoulders drop, your breathing changes, and suddenly you remember there's a life outside of work. The question is, what do you do with that freedom?
For me, it depends entirely on the day. Some evenings, I'm too tired to do anything except go home and collapse. Other times, I feel energized and want to go out, meet friends, try something new.
That variability is so important to express. You might say, after work, I usually go straight home, but sometimes I meet friends for dinner, and occasionally I hit the gym.
Those words usually, sometimes, occasionally, rarely, always, never. They're the spices in your routine description. They show patterns without being boring.
Let's build some evening routines together. Common activities. Go to the gym, meet friends, run errands, cook dinner, watch TV, scroll through social media, play video games, read a book, take a walk, pursue a hobby.
I love how diverse that list is because it shows everyone has different ways of unwinding. John, what's your go-to evening activity?
Honestly, I decompress by playing guitar for about an hour. That word, decompress, it means releasing stress, unwinding. I need to decompress after a long day.
That's beautiful. I unwind by cooking. It's meditative for me. And notice that word unwind? It's another way to say relax, but it implies actively releasing tension.
For our audience, here is a challenge. Think about your evening routine and describe it using these phrases. After work, I usually activity. It helps me feel or emotion. Sometimes I also alternative activity.
For example, after work, I usually go for a run. It helps me clear my head. Sometimes I also call my parents just to catch up.
Perfect. See how personal that is? You're not just listing activities. You're explaining why. And that makes your English sophisticated and meaningful.
Now let's talk about dinner, because this is a huge part of evening routines. Are you a cook from scratch person or a order delivery person?
Can I be both? Some nights, I genuinely enjoy preparing a meal. Chopping vegetables, trying new recipes, making something healthy. Other nights, I'm too exhausted to cook, so I order a takeout or heat up leftovers.
That's reality. And you just used incredible phrases. Prepare a meal, too exhausted to cook, order takeout, heat up leftovers. These are everyday expressions that make your English sound lived in.
Here are more dinner-related phrases. Cook dinner, make a quick meal, eat out, meal prep, try a new recipe, skip dinner, not recommended, have dinner with family.
And here's where routines connect to culture. Some cultures have big family dinners every night. Others, everyone eats at different times. You might say, in my family, we always eat dinner together. Or, I usually eat alone while watching something.
Neither is better or worse. They're just different stories. And being able to tell your story is what matters.
We're entering my favorite part of the day, the evening wind down. There's something sacred about those hours before sleep, don't you think?
Definitely. The world gets quieter, the pace slows down, and you finally get to just be. So, what does your pre-sleep routine look like, Maya?
I'm pretty consistent with this. Around 9 p.m., I start winding down. That means dimming the lights, putting away devices, maybe doing some light stretching or taking a warm shower.
That phrase, wind down, is perfect. It suggests gradually decreasing activity, like a clock slowly stopping. You're not suddenly going from 100% energy to sleep, you're transitioning.
Exactly. That I change into pajamas, or as some people say, get into comfortable clothes. There's something psychologically powerful about that clothing change. It signals to your brain, work is done, obligations are over, now we rest.
I do something similar. I take a shower to wash off the day, literally and metaphorically. Then I set out clothes for tomorrow, which is a small thing but saves so much morning stress.
That's smart planning. Other pre-bed activities people do: brush teeth, floss, wash face, apply skincare, read a book, journal, meditate, listen to calm music, check tomorrow's schedule.
Let's talk about the phrase, call it a night. It means deciding to end your day and go to sleep. I'm exhausted. I'm going to call it a night. Or, we talked for hours, but eventually we called it a night.
Love that phrase. Now, here's where it gets personal. Bedtime rituals. Some people scroll through their phone. Guilty, guilty. Some people set an alarm. Some pray or practice gratitude. Some plan tomorrow's tasks.
And here's a controversial one. What time do you actually go to bed? Notice the phrase, go to bed, not go to sleep. You go to bed at 10:30, but you might not fall asleep until 11.
That's such an important distinction. I go to bed early, but fall asleep late because my mind won't stop racing. That's a complete, honest, sophisticated English sentence.
For everyone watching, what do you do when you can't fall asleep? Do you count sheep? Imagine jumping sheep to bore yourself. Read until you're drowsy, listen to sleep sounds, or just lie there staring at the ceiling.
The ceiling staring is so relatable. Here are some sleep-related phrases. Toss and turn, move restlessly. Drift off, gradually fall asleep. Sleep like a log, sleep very deeply. Have trouble sleeping, sleep through the night.
And then there's sleep quality. You might sleep soundly, deeply and peacefully, or sleep poorly, restlessly, with interruptions. I slept poorly last night, so I'm exhausted today.
Before we wrap up this section, let's talk about something powerful: reflection. Some people end their day by reflecting on what went well, thinking about what they're grateful for, or setting intentions for tomorrow.
You might say, before I sleep, I think about 3 good things that happened today. Or, I like to review my day and plan for tomorrow.
This isn't just good for sleep, it's good for your soul. And when you do this in English, you're training your brain to think in the language naturally.
All right, we've journeyed through an entire day from that first awful alarm sound to finally closing your eyes at night. But here's what I want everyone to understand. This isn't just about vocabulary.
Exactly. When you describe your daily routine in English, you're doing something profound. You're translating your life into another language. You're saying, this is me. This is how I live. This is what matters to me.
And that's powerful because every time you say, I wake up at 6:30, I take the subway to work, I have lunch with my coworkers, I cook dinner at home, I read before bed, you're not just practicing English, you're claiming your story.
Let me share something personal. When I first started learning English seriously, I couldn't describe my day beyond I wake up, I go to school, I eat, I sleep. It was frustrating because I had so much more to say. My days were full of tiny dramas, small victories, moments of joy and stress, but I didn't have the words.
I felt the same way. And here's what changed everything. I started keeping a daily journal in English, just 3 sentences every night about my day. Today, I felt tired because I didn't sleep well. I had an interesting conversation with a stranger on the bus. I cooked pasta for dinner, and it was actually good.
That's brilliant because you were connecting language to real experience, not memorizing from a textbook, but living in the language.
For everyone watching, here's your challenge. Tonight, before you go to bed, describe your entire day in English. Out loud or written down, doesn't matter. Start from morning and work through to evening. Use the phrases we taught you today.
And here's the beautiful part. Your routine will never be exactly like someone else's. Maybe you're a university student pulling all-nighters. Maybe you're a parent juggling work and kids. Maybe you're working night shifts. Maybe you're traveling. Every routine is unique.
And every routine deserves to be told. So let's do a quick full-day practice together. Everyone, repeat after us and feel free to change the details to match your life.
I wake up at 7 a.m., but I don't get out of bed until 7:20.
I brush my teeth, take a quick shower, and get dressed in about 20 minutes.
I have coffee and toast for breakfast while checking my phone. You know what's amazing? Every person watching this right now is living a completely different day. Different time zone, different routine, different challenges, different dreams.
But we all share something fundamental. We're all trying to grow. We're all pushing ourselves to learn, to improve, to communicate better. And that takes courage.
It really does. Learning a language isn't just about memorizing words. It's about being willing to sound awkward, make mistakes, try again, and keep going even when it's frustrating.
So if you've watched this entire video, I want you to know something. You're already succeeding because showing up, that's half the battle. Caring enough to improve, that's what separates dreamers from achievers.
Your daily routine might feel ordinary to you. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. But I promise you, when you can describe it confidently in English, you'll start to see it differently. You'll notice the small victories, the progress, the beauty in the everyday.
Because language doesn't just describe life, it helps you understand it. When you have the words to express your feelings, your experiences, your routine, you gain clarity about who you are and who you're becoming.
So here's what we want you to do. First, subscribe to English Speaking Nerds if you haven't already. Not because we need the numbers, but because you deserve to have this resource consistently showing up for you.
Second, in the comments below, share one sentence from your daily routine. Just one. I drink green tea every morning. Or I take a 20-minute walk after lunch. Or I call my mom every Sunday evening. Share your story. Let's build a community of learners supporting each other.
And third, this is the most important one, promise yourself that you'll practice out loud, not just in your head, not just reading, but actually speaking. Your voice deserves to be heard in English.
Remember, your routine is your story. and your story matters. Whether you're a student dreaming of studying abroad, a professional building a career, a parent teaching your kids, or someone simply wanting to connect with the wider world, your English journey is valid and valuable.
Every expert was once a beginner. Every fluent speaker once struggled with basic phrases. The only difference between them and someone who gave up, they kept going. One day at a time, one phrase at a time, one routine at a time.
So, tonight, when you go through your evening routine, do it mindfully. Notice each action and try describing it in English, even if it's just in your mind. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm setting my alarm. I'm getting into bed.
Those simple sentences, they're building blocks. They're creating neural pathways. They're turning English from a subject you study into a language you live in.
Thank you for spending this time with us today. Thank you for trusting English-speaking nerds to be part of your learning journey. We don't take that lightly.
Keep practicing. Keep growing. Keep believing in yourself. And remember, you're not just learning English. You're becoming the person who speaks it.
Until next time, this is John.
And Maya, reminding you that every day is a chance to get better. See you in the next episode, everyone.